Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about something interesting and important because, yeah, sure, we are all veterans here, but what's something important for a gacha game? Players. And we would like to get more players, a lot of players new that come into the game, have a blast and start playing the game on long term. So we were checking this yesterday on stream on twitch.tv/Jakazin, and we discovered something interesting. There are a couple of differences between a new player now and a player from 1.0. Now, the player from 1.0 had 20 more pulls because it was the launch gift. At account level 3, you got 10, and account level 5, you got another 10. So those were instant pulls that you would get immediately. Then we had something in the mail, and it was Matilda. Matilda with a 10 pull. Now, as a new player, you don't get that. So you don't have any instant pull, besides maybe if you start now, you will get a compensation for the fact that 2.0 ends early, 7 days early. That said, you don't get those 10 pulls. Now, if you started on 1.9, so the previous patch, Lucy was there, you would have gotten a free decalogue, you could have rerolled for free Lucy. You also had free Semmelweis, like just by logging in, just existing. Those are characters that are incredibly powerful compared to the standard 1.0 roster, compared to 1.0 that we had launch. So, but you didn't, right? So depending on the patch that you come in, you're going to have more or less rewards. But in a normal patch, in a non-anniversary patch, because that was the anniversary, in a non-anniversary patch, which, you know, it doesn't come that often, or a non-limited patch, because that will happen again on CN New Year, and it will happen again for us in 2.3. So in that case, in a normal patch, you don't really get anything interesting, anything insane. So the new player ends up with these things. 30 summons from clearing the story. Every time you do 1/4, 1/16, and then probably 1/24. At 1/4, they give you Matilda. So you still get Matilda. Wow, no way. Then you get 20 pulls from doing the beginner missions, which takes a while, actually a long time, I would say. If you're a new player, you don't have resources to do that, to rush this, so maybe you can get 10 pulls, but the other temple is going to be far away from you. You're going to have to actually play the game to get that. And then you have 8 days, which is 8 days. It's not 1 day, it's not instant, it's 8. With a total of free Dicke, free Sideshow Selector, and 13 pulls. Then you get some other things by doing the tutorials, etc. But you don't have any instant 10 pull from anywhere. So you start and you're poor as fuck. Now you start and you play the story with the characters that are given to you. You gradually get more characters, sure, but those are 4-star characters that are good for the start of the game, but the difference between 1.0 and today is that today the game is different. In 1.0 we had the bare bone state of the game. Nothing was up. Utu wasn't up. And we had the previous version of Utu. We didn't have the mains bulletin, we didn't have the raids, we didn't have the new limbo, because I think the limbo currently are a little harder. Even though they're easy for us, they're still harder than the limbos that we had, like the first limbo on 1.0. Like it was easier then. So you also have the event, no? The event has like special bosses that you need to kill to get to the farm stage and farm that boss. Is going to be way harder for a new player. So I feel like rather than having a pool problem, we are having a roster problem, because the characters that are given to you are almost the same, if not the same, as the 1.0. So as a 1.0 player playing the 1.0 patch, those are fine. As a 2.0 player playing with the 1.0 character and roster and character that are free, that's going to be a little harder. Sure, the story is the same, but you will still have a very, very, very hard time keep catching up with the content if you can't clear, because you can't finish artificial somnambulism to get to limbo. You can't do the raids at all. Maybe you can get a B if you're lucky, like by a fucking miracle. I don't even know if you can clear the story of 2.0 to the final boss. I don't think. So you can't just rush the content and get to it, which I fear might discourage some people. What I would do is I would give a free pack of a free selector, not for a 6-star, for a 5-star or below of your choice. Anyone from the 5-star selector, from a 5-star roster or below, you can choose one for free. Now there is something similar in the bank that you can buy for $0.99 if in case you can afford to spend any money. It's $0.99. It should be a good choice if you can spend money. If you can spend money, then I feel like it should be also a choice, right? You get there, you get the thing, okay, I bought it, I got Yenisei or Beacon Broom, depending on the couple of pulls that I was able to do. Did I get anyone important? No? Okay, then I pick up whatever I feel like I need, like a healer or a good support / sub DPS. Ulu, you don't pull Ulu. Now, on top of that it's in the pay shop, we should have another one. So that way you can form a decent team for your first part of the game. The more you go through the story, the harder it's going to get. And you need a better roster of characters. Not to mention, you need 2 teams for Limbo eventually. So, you know, when it comes to summoning, at the moment, we have these banners and we have basically only supports and healers and the standard banner. Now, the beginner banner, I feel like this doesn't cut it anymore. It's a little bit outdated, if to say the least. I would replace all of these characters with more viable ones, like, let's say, Melania or Centurion. Then you can put Calabauna instead of Eternity, and then instead of 2 stars, you can put a plant, let's say. You can put a plant, you can put Jessica there. Those are characters that you can even make the argument of, oh, but they're not going to do that. They want to rerun them so they do some money. They don't rerun. Melania doesn't rerun. Those are standard characters that are currently even in global, present in the standard pool, including Spadodia and 6 and 37. You could put those in the beginner banner, revamp the beginner banner, and make those characters more viable because you get a free 6-star character of between these 3 in 30 summon. This is very manageable. You can do this, and every player can do this. You just finish the story and you have a free character, and it's going to be a viable one. Even if you want to put only like very old characters, you don't want to put Spadodia, okay, put Centurion. Centurion is way better than Regulus when it comes to viability for a new player and a new story. Way better. Regulus doesn't even want to be a DPS. Her kit tells you to please don't use me. So Eternity and Lilia will be buffed in the future, but I don't think it's worth getting these characters now so that then in future you can get them buffed, because it's not instant. You also need to work for the buff. As a new player, you don't want to do that. Also, they don't really synergize with anybody that you have, because you don't have Semmelweis, so Eternity doesn't make any sense. You don't have, unless you pull Lopera and you go Lilia, and then when you wait until 2.3 to get the buff for Lilia, so that she use bullets, no, Lopera and Lilia make sense. You don't want to do that. That is not fun to do. If it is, if you like that, cool. But I don't think that majority of players are going to enjoy having this type of thoughts and planning on an account that doesn't work, because you don't have the characters. So the only thing that you can do as a new player when it comes to pulling on these banners, I would say, everything considered, you should pull on Mercuria realistically, and then pull for Anjonala whenever we get 2.2 in 2 patches. She's really close. Resist. Anjonala is going to carry and destroy the game for you. My Queen Anjonala. Type My Queen Anjonala in the comments if you made it this far. Now, because Mercuria is one of the best character available at the moment, and you will also be able to use Mercuria. You can use Mercuria with Anjonala and make a part of the dream team or the god team with Anjonala, and you also will be able to maybe get like a little Charlie that can help you for DPSing. Charlie is a star DPS. I would say that it's probably better than Lilia. Pre-buffed Lilia is probably better than Lilia, especially if you get P3 or plus Charlie. With P3 means 4 copies of Charlie. 1 Charlie and then 3 other copies. You fuse them together, it becomes P3, Portrait 3, which is the way we call the portraits, the copies. Now, this banner is really good, but it's a scam banner. If you pull on this one, it's going to destroy your pools. If you don't get any of these characters, you will lose your pools forever. And if you want only one of these two, it's also not ideal, because it's going to be 35, 35, 30. You have a 75% chance of getting one of these two, and 25% chance of, 70, 30. 70 to get them, 30 to fail. If you fail, rip your pools forever, unless you keep pooling, but that's a lot of pools. You don't have those as a free-to-play. And if you only want 6 or Isolde, you have a 50% chance of getting one of the others. What if you fail, right? So even if you fail, if you win, but if you fail the choice, it's still a little bit of a W. But if you fail everything, now you wasted a gazillion pools as a new player, which is like, at this point, just reroll, right? At that point, Getian, right? It's fine for any reality character. It's also probably going to be useful early on if you make him channel. It's going to probably zap people to death compared to what you're fighting on the first chapters of the story. Should be a good option, but it's not super useful. It is, but it's one of those characters that, like, over time you will not use them anymore. But especially if you're getting Anjonala. If you're getting Anjonala, you don't run Getian. Now, they kind of replace each other. This one is a good choice, but, you know, it's a rookie summon. It will be there for 12 days, looks like, the moment you start the game. So it depends on you if you want to do some pulls. Maybe you want to reroll for them. They're a really good healer. I always liked Medicine Pocket. I still use it to this day sometimes. I still use it. But the fact that I use him as a veteran day 1 player, that I use him on 2.0 still sometimes, says a lot. Now, the standard banner, it's actually pretty good. Why is the standard banner updated and not the beginner banner? So the standard banner contains every character up until 1.7, which means that now you have a high chance of getting a 6-star that is not dumb from 1.0. That is not like a C-tier character from 1.0. Melania, insane, strong DPS. Spadodia, strong DPS burn. 6, a godlike support. I don't care what the fuck you guys say. 6 is really, really fucking good. To this day, still amazing support buffer, debuffer. He does so many things, and you guys are shitting on him just because he looks boring. Then we have Selmalwise and other character. You have 37, you have Calabana, Jessica, all those DPSs that should be here are in the standard banner. Any DPS for a new player that it's post 1.2, 1.2, 1.1 onward, any DPS 1.1 onward, it's better than these 3. Even Centurion from 1.1 is better than Regulus for a new player. So at this point you get what I mean. So what I would tell you to do as a new player, everything considered, I would probably recommend you to pull on Mercuria, so that you get if you happen to get Mercuria, because you also get a Charlie for free, and it's one of the rate up. So unless you get Swarm with clicks, which is the other guy, Mercuria is a good choice. And with the concept of one day getting Anjonala, which is coming in let's say 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, so next year. You get Anjonala, and now it's starting to be like a big deal. So if you wanna pull with a criteria in mind, pull Mercuria. Otherwise, I wouldn't even touch this. I know that 30 summon guaranteed is good. Maybe you can try this one, and if you get Regulus, you reroll. Otherwise, you should go for the beginner banner, for the standard banner. I think this is probably better. Or maybe reroll for the standard banner. Or you can get Getian. But at this point, if you're pulling for a support, then pull for Mercuria, right? So, you know, those are good choices, but you don't have any pulls as a free-to-play. So you could reroll to get a cool character from standard, or you could try to get Eternity on Lilia, because they will help you, but they will fall off, but maybe you don't care. As long as you don't get Regulus. Regulus is going to be very painful. Not saying Regulus is bad, necessarily, but it's going to be very painful to level up and to progress the story with Regulus as a main DPS, because she doesn't want to play. And it's going to be very slow and painful. because I did it before. Don't touch this banner. Maybe pull Gatian if you like him, if you think he's hot or something, I don't know. If you like how the way he works, maybe Google Gatian guide. I think, did I make it? I think I made a Gatian guide. You can go check that. That said, I don't want to yap too much. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. And do you agree with anything I said? Do you disagree with anything I said? Let me know in the comments. Again, if you watch this video, if you make it this far, my queen Anjanala in the comments, okay? Thank you for watching and see you next time.